Beware the Ides of March, a warning whispered in ancient Rome. On one fateful day in 44 BC, it became a prophecy fulfilled, a dagger's edge that ended the life of a man who held the fate of a republic in his hands. This is the story of Julius Caesar and the betrayal that echoes through the ages. Welcome to Echoes of the Past, where we recount the tales behind history's most legendary moments. If you'd like to learn more, check the description below. Now, back to today's story. Julius Caesar, a brilliant general, a master politician, a man adored by the people. His victories in Gaul brought not only glory to Rome but immense personal power. His armies crushed enemies, expanded the Republic's borders, and poured riches into the city. Soldiers followed him with unwavering loyalty. Citizens cheered his name in the streets. But with power comes fear. In 49 BC, Caesar made a choice that would forever alter history. Defying the Senate's authority, he crossed the Rubicon River with his legions, an open act of war against the Republic. Civil war erupted. Battles raged across the Roman world. And when the fighting ended, Caesar stood triumphant, his enemies vanquished, Rome itself at his command. But victory was not enough. Caesar claimed the title of Dictator Perpetuo, dictator for life. He enacted sweeping reforms. He redistributed land to veterans, offered citizenship to outsiders, expanded the Senate by hundreds, and even rewrote the Roman calendar. His rule promised stability, prosperity, and order, but at the cost of the Senate's power. To many, Caesar was a visionary, a leader who could lift Rome from its chaos. To others, he was a tyrant in disguise, a man who would crown himself king if left unchecked. The Republic, forged on the ashes of monarchy, now trembled on the edge of dictatorship. In the shadowed halls of the Senate, whispers of discontent grew into murmurs of conspiracy. Leading those whispers was Gaius Cassius Longinus, a seasoned general burning with resentment and fear of Caesar's dominance. At his side stood Marcus Junius Brutus, a philosopher, a man of principle, and perhaps the most unlikely of traitors. Brutus, bound to Caesar by friendship and gratitude, was equally bound by his lineage, a descendant of the man who had cast out Rome's last king centuries before. They called themselves the Liberators. Their mission was clear: strike down Caesar and restore the Republic. But their mission was anything but simple. The Liberators debated endlessly, torn between action and doubt. They feared the reaction of the people, who loved Caesar as a hero. They worried about the wrath of Caesar's loyal soldiers, but in their hearts they believed Rome would thank them if they struck boldly, publicly, and together. So in whispered meetings and shadowed corners, they plotted a murder that would shake Rome to its core, a murder they believed would save the Republic, but would instead change history forever. March 15th, 44 BC. The Ides of March. Dawn broke over Rome, casting long shadows across its marble streets. Omens filled the air. A soothsayer warned Caesar to beware this very day. His wife Calpurnia awoke in terror from visions of his death. Even the priests who read the entrails of sacrificed animals spoke of ill fortune. Yet Caesar, dismissive of fear, chose to walk his path unguarded. Decimus Brutus, once a loyal ally and now a hidden conspirator, arrived at Caesar's home with urgent words. He persuaded Caesar to attend the Senate's session, claiming it would ease suspicion and uphold his dignity. Caesar agreed. With that decision, his fate was sealed. The Senate convened at the Theater of Pompey. Within its stone walls, senators gathered in tense anticipation. The conspirators hid daggers beneath their togas, waiting for the signal. As Caesar entered, a hush fell over the chamber. Julius Caesar approached with a petition, a plea for his brother's pardon. When Caesar refused, Caesar grabbed his toga, and in that instant, steel flashed. The first blow struck his neck. Chaos erupted as daggers tore into Caesar from every direction. He fought back, shielding himself as best he could, until his eyes met Brutus among the attackers. Et tu, Brute. Whether spoken in truth or remembered in legend, the words marked the moment of surrender. 23 stab wounds ended Caesar's life. His blood spilled upon the Senate floor, not shed on distant battlefields, but by Roman hands in the heart of Rome. The liberators expected celebration, a city rejoicing at its freedom from tyranny. Instead, they were met with horror and stunned silence. The people they hoped to inspire mourned Caesar's death. Mark Antony, Caesar's closest ally, seized the moment. At the funeral, he spoke with fiery passion, turning the crowd's sorrow into rage. Riots swept the streets. The liberators fled, their dream of restoring the Republic crumbling before their eyes. Civil war ignited once again. Brutus and Cassius raised armies, but faced the forces of Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. At the Battle of Philippi, the liberators met their doom. Both Brutus and Cassius took their own lives, ending their cause in blood and defeat. From the ruins of the Republic rose an empire. Octavian emerged as Augustus, Rome's first emperor. The Senate became a shadow of its former power. The Republic the assassins fought to protect was gone, replaced by a monarchy in all but name. They killed a man to save a republic. Instead, they buried it. The assassination of Julius Caesar remains one of history's most profound lessons. A story of power, fear, betrayal, and the fragile nature of freedom. Even now, the shadow of the Ides of March lingers, a timeless reminder that in the corridors of power, the line between patriot and traitor is often drawn in blood. This has been Echoes of the Past. If you enjoyed this story, check out more in the description, and stay tuned for the next chapter. Until next time.